A News 10 exclusive. Our cameras are there just moments after a man is shot during a confrontation. Good evening, I'm Renee Chenault.
And I'm Larry Menti. Our top story on News 10 at 11. A minor car crash becomes a major crime when one of the drivers pulls out a gun and starts blasting. And only News 10 has the story. At first, it appeared to be a case of road rage in the West Kensington section of Philadelphia at D and Ontario. But as the victim was rushed to the hospital, new information emerged. News 10's Doug Schimel is live outside Hahnemann Hospital with his still developing story. Doug.
Yeah, family members have identified the victim here as 32-year-old Henry Rodriguez. He was admitted here to Hahnemann Hospital, and we are told he is in fair condition. And investigators are trying to figure out if he is the victim of road rage or some kind of domestic dispute. For some reason, the driver of this Monte Carlo couldn't stop in time and slammed into the back of a blue van at D and Ontario Streets around 8:30. But what followed stunned onlookers.
The guy that got shot hit him from behind, right? So the guy came out from the car, from the minivan, and started shooting rounds.
The driver of the car was hit in the groin and rushed to Hahnemann Hospital. The man with the gun, according to witnesses, got back into his van and took off. But less than 2 hours later, officers spotted a Ford Aerostar van near the intersection of 5th and Glenwood with damage to the rear end. They arrested the driver. Now, we are told that the driver is 28-year-old Jose Diaz. He is being questioned by detectives up at the East Detective Division. They want to find out just exactly what led to the shooting. It is very possible that Diaz knew his alleged victim. Live at Hahnemann Hospital, I'm Doug Schimel, News 10.
A children's game turned to tragedy today when a gun they were toying with fired a real bullet. Now a little boy is in critical condition, shot in the head. It happened this afternoon in South Philadelphia in the 1900 block of Seagull Street. News 10's Mike Strug joins us live at the scene. Mike.
Well, Seagull Street is normally alive with the sounds of kids playing. Like city kids everywhere, this is their playground. Now, a memorial is growing here, and the street still echoes with the sounds of today's tragic accident. A young mother comes home and collapses when she learns that her 7-year-old son has been shot in the head by a playmate. A neighbor cleans the sidewalk where the youngster fell. It all started with a group of kids 5 to 10 years old playing in a red Subaru parked in the street.
So apparently they don't have no window in there because children were getting in and out of it.
That's another problem. They use it for a stash spot, you know. It's used for a stash. That's one of the problems.
You think there were drugs either in that or under it? Or?
Yeah,
well, that's what it's used for.
Probably.
I mean, I live here, I see it all night long.
47 years.
Police are investigating that possibility. But whatever the case, either in or under the car, the boys found the gun. A neighbor who saw it later said it was a .357 Magnum. An older boy took the gun and placed it on the trunk and told the others, "Don't touch it." He went to get an adult. Seconds later, he heard a shot. One of the boys, believed to be only 7 years old, had picked it up, and it either went off accidentally or he pulled the trigger. A few feet away, his friend fell from his scooter.
It's just sad and hurts because it could have been one of my children or anyone else's children. They're just babies.
Detectives will be sending a report to the district attorney's office, but they say it's very unlikely that any charges will be brought against the 7-year-old who was holding the gun when it discharged. Live in South Philadelphia, I'm Mike Strug, News 10.
Patients get a scare tonight from a fire inside the hospital. News 10 first on the scene at Temple University Hospital on North Broad Street. The fire broke out just before 7:30 on the 9th floor. Patients were evacuated to another floor. No one was injured. The fire marshal is still investigating what caught fire. Tonight, there's no end in sight to the wildfires sweeping across Florida. Hot, dry winds are expected to whip up new fires in the coming days. The fires are quick to spread and hard to fight. Firefighters are doing what they can to stay ahead of the fires, but they say the flames are jumping right over areas already burned. Now, the wildfires are burning all over the state, from the Panhandle all the way down to South Florida. But the biggest fire is centered in the Everglades along I-75, also known as the Alligator Alley, right down here. And also between Naples on the west coast and right across I-75 to Fort Lauderdale on the East Coast. As you can see by these pictures, the smoke from the fire is turning night into day. About 60 miles of I-75 is closed because of these fires, and authorities are now warning people with breathing problems to stay indoors in areas east of the fires. There is one bit of good news tonight. So far, the fires are not threatening any populated areas. Experts say this could end up being the worst year for wildfires ever in Florida. So far, more than 2,500 wildfires have scorched the state this year. More than 130,000 acres have been burned. Rainfall is down 53% in Florida this year. So the fires are expected to burn until the next big downpour.
Well, at this hour, the Platte Bridge is still closed 13 hours after a truck accident shut it down. News 10 with a live look at the span in South Philadelphia right now. You can see the usually busy bridge is empty. The problem isn't on the bridge itself, but a road leading up to it. News 10 on 26th Street near Penrose Avenue in South Philadelphia, where PICO crews are still repairing the mess. Police say a truck was trying to make the turn off the bridge and then knocked over a utility pole that brought down 5 other poles and lots of power lines. Well, taking a look at the map of the accident scene, you see here X marks the spot in the right center of your screen where the truck flipped. This took place around 10 o'clock this morning. Chopper 10's gyro cam over the crash this morning. The garbage truck left quite a mess when it crashed. The driver was treated for minor injuries. Tonight, PICO tells us they will be working all night to try to open the road and the bridge. So be sure to watch News 10 at 5:30 tomorrow morning for the latest on the bridge and how it will affect your morning commute.
Now a News 10 follow-up tonight. A cinder block wall that collapsed and killed a Philadelphia boy has city inspectors on the prowl for similar dangers. 11-year-old Deshaun Hinney died yesterday after the wall came crashing down in Strawberry Mansion. Licensing and Inspection says they had no permit and no complaints about the privately built wall. Today, L&I crews tore down the wall and several others that were unsafe. Commissioner Fran Egan is urging residents to let L&I know about any structural problems so her inspectors can take care of them.
And now to the crisis in Kosovo. The barrage is on once again as NATO warplanes zero in on their latest military targets in Yugoslavia. Pictures released of yesterday's airstrikes show they left their mark. Daytime NATO bombing raids struck this government building in Novi Sad. Now, this weekend saw some of the fiercest fighting since the crisis in Kosovo began nearly a month ago. President Clinton today asked Congress for billions more to pay for the war. The president today requested $6 billion in emergency spending to keep the air war going through September. Congress is expected to approve the money. Well, could you have bought bad beef at your supermarket without knowing it? You just saw the investigation on Dateline. We'll take you live to a local store where Dateline dug up what might be trouble in your freezer.
And there's new information tonight about whether a heart attack in the family can affect your own health history.
And I'm tracking another round of rain moving your way. I'll let you know exactly when it will move in and when it will move out as News 10 continues.
You're watching News 10 at 11.
Candidates had a chance to talk tonight about their neighborhood plans. News 10 in University City, John Street, Happy Fernandez, and Dwight Evans took part in the forum hosted by the Local Initiative Support Corporation. Topics included housing and how to bring businesses back to the city's neighborhoods.
The name Iverson means basketball in Philadelphia, but tonight it held a double meaning. 76ers guard Allen Iverson meet circus ringmaster Jonathan Lee Iverson. No relation. News 10 at the First Union Center tonight, where Jonathan visited Allen before the Sixers game with the Knicks. Jonathan didn't have to go too far, just across the parking lot where his Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus performs at the First Union Spectrum. Have you bought any beef at your local grocery store lately?
Well, it could have been tainted with a bacteria.
I'm Lisa Mishler live in Northeast Philadelphia. Some health concerns about ground beef at 2 Philadelphia stores coming up.
And what a difference a week makes. We'll take you to an unusual reunion of the 2 men involved in that fiery crane rescue.
A nice night to shoot baskets. News 10 in Villanova, where hoop dreams were alive for this one solitary player. The exclusive Earthwatch forecast coming up. Move back a little bit. No more nude beach for now in Cape May County. Lower Township officials voted tonight to shut down Higbee Beach. Residents complained that child pornography, used condoms, and gay magazines were turning up on the beach. Higbee will be closed for a year, and the township plans to ask for better patrols to keep the beaches safe and clean.
Debbie Puglisi told a Delaware jury today how she played mental games to try to survive her murder and kidnapping ordeal. She says she still bears the physical and emotional scars from Donald Flagg. Flagg is accused of killing Debbie Puglisi's husband, Anthony, then kidnapping and raping her over 4 days. Flagg has pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Debbie Puglisi testified that halfway through her 96-hour captivity, Flagg's demeanor changed. She said he seemed like a different person, letting her take a bath and helping her tend her wounds. The defense said Puglisi's testimony supports its claim that Flagg is schizophrenic, but the prosecution said Flagg's behavior sounded more like a man coming down from a crack cocaine high.
A wild ride up and then down a slippery slope on Wall Street today. The Dow Jones Industrials up 270 points in early trading, plummeted more than 300 points to end the day with a modest loss. Technology stocks took a beating from the start, with NASDAQ posting its second worst day ever. Proving that one good deed deserves another, a firefighter and the man he saved from certain death are being honored by Disneyland. How's this for a treat? A ticker tape parade down Disneyland's fabled Main Street. That's Ivor Sims on the left and firefighter Matt Mosley on the right. You might not recognize them here, but I know you know who they are. Here's a hint. The last time we saw them, Ivors was stranded on top of a 220-foot tall crane in the middle of a huge fire in Atlanta. Mosley is the firefighter who dangled from a helicopter and then pulled Sims to safety. It was an amazing rescue. You watched live right here on NBC 10.
Well, flashback time. Get out those tie-dye shirts. It's Woodstock revisited 30 years later. Now, this was the original Woodstock with 500,000 music lovers jammed onto a farm. Smaller crowds have attended more recent Woodstock concerts. Tickets for Woodstock 99 will go on sale this Sunday, costing $150 each. The Dave Matthews Band, Metallica, and Sheryl Crow are among the groups that will perform. The concert will be held in July at a former Air Force base in upstate New York.
On the News 10 Health Watch at 11, new evidence that a deadly type of heart attack runs in the family. A French study says men who lose a parent to sudden cardiac death are twice as likely to die the same way. In sudden heart deaths, victims often have no warning that their heart is about to stop beating. It's hoped this new information will help identify men who are at higher risk.
Are you a victim of bad beef? Tonight's Dateline NBC showed an investigation of the meat sold at supermarkets across the nation and in our area. Dateline went undercover and found meat tainted with listeria. It's a bacteria that can be deadly, and there are no government regulations for listeria. News 10's Lisa Mishler is live tonight at a Northeast Philadelphia supermarket where they found some of the contaminated meat. Lisa.
Well, customers we talked with tonight say this is not the first time they've heard about bacteria in ground beef. They've seen numerous reports about E. coli bacteria, which is similar to listeria. So by now they know to cook their meat well done. Ground beef samples from the Superfresh store on Pine Street in Society Hill and the Acme at Roosevelt Boulevard and Solly Avenue in Northeast Philadelphia tested positive for listeria. But that doesn't worry Superfresh meat eater Florence Epstein.
Well, I check it really thoroughly and I cook it really, really slow, on a slow temperature, and I cook it for a very, very long time.
Acme shopper Terry Connolly already follows the federal guidelines, cooking ground beef at 160 degrees.
You know, but we're just real careful, you know, about handling, and, you know, we follow, you know, just all the cleanliness rules and all you should do.
Temple University microbiology professor Michael Higgins shops at Superfresh, but he's seen the bacteria under a microscope, so he avoids ground beef altogether.
I don't think anyone should consume ground beef. It's a bacteriological warfare. It's really a very unhealthy product to use.
The two supermarkets responded to the Dateline report through the Food Marketing Institute, and FMI says that listeria can be picked up at any point during the packaging of raw meat. And they went on to say that the two Philadelphia stores in the Dateline report have taken new precautions to sanitize at the store level. We're live in Northeast Philadelphia. Lisa Mishler, News 10.
It's about time spring kicked into gear.
Yeah, is this typical for April? It's
Yeah.
awfully cool out there. It is typical.
Shifting gears, but you know what? I'm a little bit of a quandary for the second half of this week. Yes, again. We'll work on a day at a time, but yeah, this is kind of typical. We're going to that transitional zone from spring, trying to move into an early summer season at times, but for now it's kind of stuck in that spring mode, early spring mode. Let's check out our WeatherNet sites and see what's going on. We zoom into one WeatherNet site, Keith Valley Middle School in Horsham, PA. 58 was the high. It's 45 right now in Horsham. The official high today at the airport, 57 degrees, kind of cool. We should be around 64. 49 right now, low this morning, 39. Take it with you. We're talking about the umbrella tomorrow morning. Temperatures in the 40s to the mid-30s, and we're waiting on some rain. Earth Watch radar, the wide view. We kind of push back a little bit. You can see some rain developing eastern Ohio, West Virginia. That rain band is moving this way. Arrival time tomorrow a.m. Exclusive Earth Watch fly. We pull back from Philly. Head back towards the little bad guy that's moving in here. The area is right there, low in the Kentucky Valley. That is moving right along that warm front and will give us another dose of rain tomorrow morning till about noontime or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then the rain will stop, perhaps a few breaks. Look at the future weathercast. 8 a.m. we're in the rain. The rain should be over right around lunchtime, give or take an hour among friends. And then you get a few breaks in the cloud cover tomorrow afternoon, and then clearing. Some sunshine Wednesday morning, but then the next weather change, green band of rain, once again moving in by Wednesday evening. So quick weather changes and wet weather changes for the city and suburbs. For tonight, clouding up, rain by morning. Lows around 45. Tomorrow morning, rain, late breaks of sun, highs around 60. Let's head to the north and west. What can you expect in the Lehigh Valley and the Poconos tonight? Well, you'd expect rain by daybreak. Lows around 40. And then tomorrow, your rain will end around 11 in the morning. Then some afternoon breaks of sun possible, highs around 59. We head down to southern Jersey and the state of Delaware. You can expect tonight, skies are clear now, but clouds will increase, and your rain will arrive between 6 and 9 a.m., 40 to 45. And then tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, rain ending around 1 in the afternoon with highs around 60. Your 5-day forecast, PM showers back on Wednesday. Thursday, milder 75. See, I had originally 80 on Friday, but now the computer models seem to be saying that front may go through quicker, so we go 70, but that's still up for grabs Friday. Check in again with Mr. William Henley first thing tomorrow morning at 5:30, and he'll update you on the battle of temperatures for the second half of this week.
All right. Thanks, John.
Okay.
And just ahead on News 10, it's coming down to crunch time for the Sixers and their playoff hopes. See how they respond against the Knicks.
My Sikahema has the highlights coming up in sports. Game today, you saw a great one.
Yeah, what a game this was. Well, it wasn't great basketball, but it was good enough for them to win. It was not exactly NBA caliber basketball, but the Sixers did what they had to do to improve their playoff chances. The Knicks having trouble just getting out of the court. Charlie Ward runs right into the camera. You remember this guy won the Heisman a few years ago. First quarter, the Sixers setting the tone. Iverson, the sweet pass to Ratliff with a jam there. Sixers get a break. Right here, Matt Geiger. Watch the obvious goaltending on Marcus Camby. His hand right through the hoop. No call. And you know what Jeff Van Gundy's going to do. Yeah, he's going to scream, but nothing. The game comes down to the final few seconds. Sixers lead by 1, and Patrick Ewing misses yet another potential game winner. Good defense by Theo Ratliff. The Sixers win it 72-67. They are now alone in 7th place. The Cleveland Cavaliers lost to Miami tonight, so they trail the Sixers by a game. In New York, Toronto, and Charlotte are all 1.5 games behind your 76ers. The Flyers will start their playoff run on Thursday in Toronto. Unfortunately, Captain Eric Lindros won't be ready to play. Number 88 on the ice today in Voorhees. Some good news, though. Mark Recchi has been cleared to play Thursday night. Much is being made of the goaltenders in this series. The Flyers' John Van Beesbrook against Curtis Joseph of the Leafs. Both were coveted free agents last year.
I think Beezer looks forward to any kind of challenge. You know, he's a guy that likes to be challenged and usually responds well to a challenge.
Cujo against John type of thing. I don't think it is. There's more to this. I mean, we got some great players. They have some great players, and everybody's going to be involved in this thing.
Baseball, the Hot Phillies out in the hot desert taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks and looking for 4 in a row. The Phils get it going early with Scott Rowland. 4th inning, and check out this absolute bomb by Rowland out to left field. The solo shot gives the Phils an early 1-zip lead. Right now the score is 2-1 Phillies. That game in the 6th inning. Coming up, we'll check in with the NFL's Mr. Irrelevant, and a big night for J.D. Drew. Remember him? We'll remind you when we come back. That's right, boo. Mr. Freeze, the musical group Mr. Mister. The NFL, they've got Mr. Irrelevant, and he is a Penn Quaker. Jim Finn was drafted by the Chicago Bears, the very last player chosen, number 253 overall. Thus, he gets the title Mr. Irrelevant. Being picked last isn't all that bad, though. He gets prizes like a trip to Disney World and a parade. Finn has even warmed up to the nickname.
Yeah, I've gotten used to it, but once camp starts, I don't think, coaches aren't going to be worried about what my title is, I'm a fullback, and if I can produce, they're going to put me out in the field. If I can't, they're going to get rid of me.
Good. You got to have a sense of humor. All right, all you J.D. Drew haters out there, Larry, take a deep breath and get ready to boo. Tonight against the Milwaukee Brewers, the kid you love to hate gets his first home run of the year, a 2-run job off of Jim Abbott. Drew with a big night tonight, knocking in 3 runs against the Cards as they win it with the Cards. They win it 6-2. More baseball news. For the first time in his 19-year career, Cal Ripken Jr. will go on the disabled list. Ripken has a bad back, and he will go on the 14-day disabled. That hasn't happened in nearly 2 decades. That's a long time.
I can't wait till J.D. Drew comes to Philadelphia.
Yeah. Get ready. Blow your voices.
I'll be there.
We'll be right back. Being revisited on the main line tonight.
News 10 at Villanova University for the first annual Irish Music Celebration. 3 bands play traditional Irish tunes. The event is sponsored by the school's Irish Cultural Society. Proceeds will go to Habitat for Humanity to help relief efforts in Belfast, Northern Ireland.
The Tonight Show with Jay Leno is next. I'm Renee Chenal.
I'm Larry Menti. For John Vai and all of us here at News 10, thank you for watching.
From the NBC studios in Burbank, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, featuring Kevin Eubanks and The Tonight Show Band. And me, I'm Ed Hall.